Hey guys, welcome to Whiskey Wise. My name is Jason and I'm bringing you my first whiskey review where we'll be uncovering the Glenmorangie Tayne. And as you can see here, we have it just in front of me. I picked it up 3 days ago and already we've worked our way through a little bit of it. Now, first whiskey review, we're going to go through it now. It's part of the Legends range, and whilst I'm going to go and tell you guys a little bit about the Legends range, what they have in it, we'll pour ourselves a wee dram. Now, the Legends range is Glenmorangie's travel retail range. It's replacing the standard age statement whiskies, which was the Nectar d'Or, the La Santa, and the Quinta Ruben. And they've recently only got 3 expressions out so far. The most recent one, which is the Tarlogan, which has just been released, I believe, a week ago. So the first one was the Dutak, the second, the Tayne, and third is the Tarlogan. So all 3 non-age statement whiskies. And with the Glenmorangie Tayne, I'll just cover that one a bit more in detail because that's the one we're doing in this video. It is a non-age statement whiskey, so it doesn't have an age, doesn't tell us exactly the maturation process in it and how long it's been in the casks, but we do know the cask they did use, and that is the ex-bourbon American white oak, and then it was transferred into the Amontillado sherry cask. So get a little bit of nice sweetness from that one. The Amontillado sherry is not going to be so heavy. It is quite a light sherry cask, unlike the Pedro Jimenez, which is used actually in the first release, which is the Dutak. And that one is quite thick, quite really sweet, and very notable. Now, in terms of what is this bottled at, this is bottled at 43% ABV, so not too strong, very palatable. I did keep some water just in case, but I don't really think I will need it because I have tried this whiskey quite a few times now already, and it's very easy to drink, so definitely would suggest you don't need this water. So it is the price in terms of what I picked it up for. I picked up for $54.99 for the litre bottle, which I think is quite valuable, well, quite worth it in terms of value, because if you take that down to work it out for the 70cl, that will work out to just under £39. So very good value for money in terms of what you're buying for the litre. And it is a travel retail exclusive, so something you won't find in your local whiskey shop. So if you are flying through an airport, any airport it should be, check if you can find this one, because this one is an interesting whiskey, and we're going to cover that now. And by the end of the whiskey review, you hopefully will have an idea whether you like it or not. Now, in terms of if they use caramel colouring, it is fairly difficult because I know the Amontillado sherry quite well, and this does look a little bit darker than it should do. Now, I do also have the Donnock. If you guys don't know about the Donnock, it's another release from Glenmorangie, which was a limited edition, finished also in Amontillado sherry, and that was much lighter. So could be the E150 in this whiskey, but we'll find out by the end of the video. And if not, if you know about it, please do leave it in the comment section below and help me out a little bit, because I'm going to also research that one. I'll also leave it in possibly the description of the video if it does have the caramel colouring. But so far it looks like a very nice rich coloured whiskey. It does have that nice amber colour, sort of a mahogany look to it, more or less how it's described, and does really match the box quite nicely. And let's get straight into the whiskey review, because I don't want to keep these videos too long. So straight on the nose. You get that straight away, you pick up that sweetness, that very, to describe it, more or less like brown sugar. It's very notable. It's almost really, really sweet, and it's sort of very, very evident in the nose initially. Almost reminds me of milk chocolate. And I haven't eaten milk chocolate in a long time. I'm a big dark chocolate fan, but reminds me of milk chocolate. It's got a little bit of sweetness over there, which is definitely almost like a creaminess as well. As you nose around it as well, you're getting that little bit of spice over there, and it is a very slight little spice. It's not very heavy, and I can't exactly pinpoint it, but hopefully when we put it on the palate, we'll see exactly which spice it is, because it's not too heavy, and it's very easy. It's very easy on the nose. I'm getting almost like dried fruits, like sultanas. Not really raisins, it doesn't have that much sweetness to it, but it's almost like sultana skins, the way I can describe it. So let's get straight into it on the palate. Let's figure out exactly what we're finding in this whiskey. Okay, so interestingly, off the first sip, straight away I'm getting that spice. It's almost like a nutmeg. It's got a bit of a very mouth-watering, very mouth-watering as well. But it also warms your mouth up, and it's always working on the sides of the palate, as well as a slight citrus note over there. And it is almost like lemon zest, I'd say. It just works its way along the sides of the palate over there, and it's not really going into the middle of the palate, except for that point where you hit that sort of like brown sugar notes, and that thing is sort of like as if you got literally a spoon of brown sugar. You scooped it up, put it straight onto your tongue, and it's literally melting in there, and it's just literally caressing the tongue. It's just, oh, it's a lovely experience, that one. That is a really interesting experience of whiskey on the palate. Move into the second sip, figure out exactly what else are we finding in this whiskey. Interestingly enough, we're not getting that same spice as we initially got off the first sip. It sort of fades off, and you get that much more sweeter, I don't know how to describe it, like maple syrup, but not maple syrup. It's like almost chewy. It feels like you're biting into like English toffee, and that sweetness there, it's back again. I think that could be 150 caramel coloring, but still not 100% sure. But it definitely is sweet. It's definitely like that brown sugary notes that I was explaining earlier. It's there, it's very evident, and just on the end you get a slight fruitiness. I'm not too sure. I think that could be floral. It's just ever so light, so it is very, very light. This whiskey is a very light whiskey, very soft, very gentle, very easy. Quick little sip to figure out the finish on this whiskey. And straight away, it's a very light, so it's a medium body. I say a light medium, more or less. Not staying there forever. It sort of fades away. That little sweetness still does linger around for quite some time. A slight citrus note does play itself a little bit more into the middle of the palate, and you can taste it over there. And a hint of spice, just such a little hint of spice. It is very notable over there. Sort of literally does remind me, with a little bit of a dryness as well, from sultanas, like the insides of the sultanas, and as if you just sort of skin the sultanas, it's like that on the top. It's just sort of staying there right down the middle, which is rather nice. So in terms of that was the nose, the palate, the finish. Overall comments on this whiskey. In terms of the whiskey itself, it is light. To me, it reminds me a much more of a sweetened version of the Glengoyne 15-year-olds, or even the Tomental 16, but without so much floral notes. It's very, very sweet, this one. So, and also in comparison of price point of view, $54.99 for the litre. I think that's good value for money, especially if it is a travel retail exclusive. It's not something you're going to pick up everywhere. So I think that is quite unique in itself. Overall, the whiskey rating. Now I did write our whiskey rating on the, I think it was take number 3, and this is like take number 5 right now. The rating I've given it is an 85. Hopefully that came out the right way. An 85 out of 100, which I think is good value for money, especially because it's not something you're going to find in your local shop. It's also quite light. It's quite a unique style in whiskey, and it is a rather interesting whiskey in itself. It's something I did enjoy, and hopefully also you'll get a chance, if you are flying through, to get someone to pick you up this one, or if you're flying for yourself, pick this bottle up. I think it is something you will enjoy, and it's also a unique expression from Glenmorangie, as it is a travel retail exclusive one. So overall, 85 out of 100, definitely would recommend this one. And we're going to get through quite a lot of whiskies. I've got more than 100 different bottles which I need to work my way through. So I decided, let's put them through whiskey reviews. So anyway, if you have enjoyed the video, by all means, please do feel free to subscribe. And also, if anyone is interested in a light whiskey, pass this over to them and let them know about the Glenmorangie Tayne. So hopefully you have enjoyed the video. By all means, please do drop it a like, subscribe, and I'll catch you all for the next whiskey review.